My name is Ashley Asahina, and I would like to talk to you about a growing problem within the United States: college tuition. According to the College Board, the average cost of tuition and fees for the 2014 to 2015 climbed 3.7% this school year at $31,231 at private colleges, $9,139 for state residents at public colleges, and $22,958 for out-of-state residents attending public universities. If the cost of a college education continues to increase as such annually, and your child enters a private college in 2022 to 2023 academic year, the estimated tuition will be $76,333. Now, based on these projections, a four-year education would then cost approximately $305,000. For that amount, you may as well buy a car, an all-inclusive 5-night vacation to Jamaica, and 15 brand new Apple Watches. Now then, what can we do about this problem? I have brought 3 guest speakers today to talk about why a college degree is important, what colleges actually spend their money on, and what the government and we as individuals can do to help this problem. First, let's give a warm welcome to Dylan, who will be talking about the importance of having a college degree.
Hi, Ashley. Well, great to be on the show.
Thank you for coming.
Of course. All right, folks. So, what does your college degree mean to you? You know, what's the point of getting a nice little piece of paper saying, I know how to do this? See, as Ashley has mentioned about the rising cost of college, people of younger generations are going to wonder, why should I go to college? Why do I want $100,000 of debt stuck on my plate? You know, they're going to wonder, Steve Jobs never went to college, and he did just fine. See, it doesn't matter what subject you majored in. Here's what college degrees can mean to you and to an employer. 1, you're dedicated to bettering yourself. 2, you put an extreme investment into learning. And 3, it shows that you have some kind of aptitude for a skill. So with these 3 things brought up to an employer, it doesn't matter if you majored in English. It doesn't matter if you majored in computer science. It shows an employer that you are dedicated to working towards a goal. See, according to American Radio Works, in 1973, only 28% of employers needed a degree of some kind. In 1999, that number went to 37%. In 2007, it went to 42%. In a projection for 2018, American Radio Works projects that over 53% of employers will require a college degree of some kind. And that's a lot. And we need to encourage people to lower the cost of tuition so everybody can get a fair shot at an education.
Thank you for coming on the show. That was some really interesting information. Thank you.
Of course, thank you.
Thank you. Now I will be taking you around the school to interview another student on what colleges actually spend their money on.
Every penny counts in a college tuition. However, what does it actually count towards? Many people have different opinions on what colleges should start cutting down their finances on. The bottom line is that colleges are spending too much money on amenities. One such amenity is the cost of paying an overwhelming amount of administration. A report by the American Association of University Professors showed a difference between administration and professors' wages. Since 1980, college administration has doubled along with their wages, while professors' wages were not. This statistic is not conducive in lowering tuition prices and actually makes the high rise of tuition seem almost unintelligent. The solution seems easy, just don't hire so many administration. Stop paying them so much as well. In fact, if anyone's wages on campus should be increasing, it should be the professors, the ones in direct contact with the students. Another amenity is a nicer looking campus. Now, why is it a bad thing to make the campus more high-end and prettier? Well, these facilities are not there to increase the students' knowledge or intelligence. It's there to make the college look better for incoming students. Even here on campus, millions of dollars are going towards the brand new, very elaborate, and very well-equipped fitness and wellness center. Personally, it doesn't need to be that way. Sure, Howard Hall is becoming very rundown, but the option of renovating Howard Hall instead is more financially sound, especially if the money is coming from students' pockets, many of whom can't even afford to stay here long enough to see it finished. So much of tuition money paid by students isn't going towards their own education. It's going towards benefiting the school. With the school cutting down on certain finances, tuition can go down dramatically.
So our next guest speaker is Parker, who will be talking to us about college spending in sport programs. Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
Thank you for coming onto the show.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Lyndon B. Johnson once said that poverty must not be a bar to learning, and learning must offer an escape from poverty. President Johnson was one of the pioneers of the federal student loan program, and I'm sure his vision of affordable college wasn't a crippling debt placed upon students. Universities could do much more to subsidize the cost of college for those less fortunate, or even reallocate a portion of those school funds to offer a better, more affordable education. One area that is a little touchy is college sports. I realize we have some D1 athletes in the room, so just know, this isn't an attack on you or even the university. This is an attack on the status quo that UP is forced to follow in order to be a top-tier school. Currently, Division I schools spend 3 to 6 more on a student athlete than on the average student. According to a study done by InsideHigherEd.com, in the years 2005 through 2010, spending for student athletes increased 50%, while spending on regular students increased only 38%. That amounts to about $91,000 for athletes and around $20,000 for regular students per year. Sports are a great way to bond students of the university and create a sense of community, but at what cost? President Johnson wanted higher education to be affordable to all, but how can we accomplish that goal when we have universities spending more on their coaches than they do on the people who run the university? Colleges will pay their university coaches exactly what the market value is. It's hard to not when we have a free market economy. But here's something interesting. Only about 14 D1 schools post that they make money from sports, and all 14 of those schools have a football team. Bigger D1 schools will make 80% of their revenue from ticket sales, conference payouts, donations, and other sources. Well, the opposite is true for small universities, with only 70% of the funding coming from institutional subsidies and student fees. That's all your money. But how can we change this? Well, think of it like this. Whatever the bigger colleges do, the little ones will eventually follow. So if the bigger universities cut funding for sports or reduce salaries for the coaches, then the little ones might do the same. The smaller colleges can't afford to get in an arms race over sports when they have such little funding.
So what do you propose we do about this problem?
One thing that you can do is institute tuition caps, which is basically when a student comes in their freshman year and they're paying $40,000 for tuition for a private university, that they would pay $40,000 all 4 years. It's not helping the cost of tuition go down, but it makes sure that it's never going to rise. So if you come into the University of Portland paying $40,000, you're going to leave paying $40,000 each year. So maybe the next year the group of students has to pay $42,000, but at least they'd be paying $42,000 every year instead of paying $42,000 their freshman year and paying $50,000 their senior year. Also, when bigger universities try and spend more on things, smaller universities want to have that same group and get that good sports and have that great sports team, so they'll try and spend money on sports when they really can't because they don't have the funding or the base that some of the larger public schools do.
Oh, thank you for answering that question.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you again for coming on to the show.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. And so, as costs rise, education is becoming a privilege only the wealthy can afford, although even now the wealthy struggle with it. If we lower the tuition so that education becomes more affordable, we will be contributing to a collective group brain power of a broader range of students. We would be giving more potential students a chance to turn their dreams into goals. As students, whether you are currently, were, or want to be, as Americans who know the value of social mobility within the country, and as potential future parents or grandparents, you can create change within the American education system and stop the ridiculous rise in college tuition rates. Let's stop running the country on the depths of our future. This has been The Peel. My name is Ashley. Thank you for watching.